Hey, it's Steve Ammon. Today I was thinking about being a buyer and I wanted to put myself in a buyer's position and put my thoughts together. So what I did here is I did a board called the Buyer Brainstorm, and I'm kind of walking myself through what the common concerns are right now because of the conditions of the market. You know, what are the goals you want to think about, and what are other factors to consider when you're buying a house right now. And then I mapped that out, I thought through it, and then I also, here, I put two sections. If you decide to buy, what are the key factors you want to do right now? And if you decide to wait, what are the things that you should be doing right now also? So if you want to watch that video, we'll put a link. I hope you watch if you're thinking about buying, and I hope it's helpful. See you there. Hey everybody. So this is my buyer brainstorm. You know, I gave you the intro, and I'll walk you through my thought process of, how a buyer should think through today's market. So you got concerns. What are the concerns you might have? Will prices go down? That's probably a big concern for buyers right now. And there's going to be opinions about that. And a common opinion is probably going to be that prices will dip at least a little bit. Okay, now how quickly they come back up is also going to be a matter of an opinion because the market is different than it was with the last downturn in housing. Different factors, that's for a different video. But that is a concern. Will I have a job? That could be a concern. Some people are laid off right now. Will they still have a job? What will the economy be like? Okay, so this is a factor in making your decision. Now, there are people that their job hasn't been affected, so that might not be a concern for you. Rates, qualifying. Why did I write this? Well, people are always concerned about rates. They affect your affordability. So rates are good. Rates probably will get better, so that's good for buyers. Qualifying. Do you still qualify? Well, that's something that you have to keep in touch with a mortgage person, and we'll talk about that a little later. But qualifying is a concern that buyers should be aware of right now. Now, the other factors here that I wrote concerning buying have to do with goals and personal circumstance. Okay, what are your goals? I just wrote here, single, married, kids, different stages of life that you might be in. But these are things that, make people want to buy their own house. Are you single? Do you want to have more independence? Do you want to get out on your own? And you don't want to rent. You see the logic in buying. It is a good decision to buy a house, even when you first move out, because you're building some equity in your life instead of paying off someone else's mortgage. Are you wanting to get married? Okay? Or are you already married and you need more space? That can be a factor in your decision because you are wanting to get married, have some independence, and have a nice home for you and your wife or husband or whoever it is. Do you want to expand your family? Okay, are you that married couple who have that one bedroom right now and you're going to have kids and you need more space? Okay, so these are circumstances in life. Are you willing to wait on this? Is really why I wrote it here. Because by not buying, you're deciding to wait, and is this a part of your life that you can get back? That's the point I'm trying to make, and that is a factor you want to consider. Over and above if prices will go down, because we know eventually they'll come back, okay? Now here's some other factors: your age, your stage in life. Are you older? You want to downsize and buy a smaller home? That's common today. What is your current living situation? Are you in a situation where it really was only meant to be temporary, and now you're trying to decide whether to buy, but you're in that temporary situation? There's a lot of buyers out there. They don't have that luxury of waiting. What is, again, your job situation? What is your job situation in deciding whether to buy or not? Okay, so this is a brainstorm of ideas of what to think about. No one can make that decision for you, okay? But in the bottom here, I wrote some factors to consider if you decide to buy and if you decide to wait. If you decide to buy, what are the things you really need to focus in on? Find a good mortgage company. You know, that can be almost the most important decision in your buying, because you want to make sure once you make that emotional attachment to a house that you can get from start to finish, especially in an uncertain market like we might be in. You know, things are kind of changing as far as buyers' qualifications. So that's why I wrote here, qualify, make sure you qualify. And then I also wrote here, re-qualify. So I wrote that because even if you're qualified right now as a buyer, you want to stay in close contact with your mortgage company and make sure that you still qualify, because things are changing a little bit with the standards. All right? Of course, find a good agent. But really, you really need to find a good agent, because is the agent that you're working with now, did they go through all these things with you? Are they talking about your circumstances and how to, you know, pivot in this market? You want someone who knows your goals, okay? And that's important. Number 3, be ready. Why? Because right now, if you're a buyer, you still need to make that quick offer. There are houses that are still flying off the market, even under quarantine. It's kind of crazy. So you want to be ready and have this, these couple of people that have your back. Now, you decide to wait. What are the things you still should be doing? Because your goal is still to buy a house. Well, you want to find that good agent still. Why? Because your goal is to find a house. If you find that good agent and let them know, hey, I want to buy a house in 6 months. I want to buy a house in 12 months. I just want to let you know. Of course, that agent, what they're going to do is they're going to take note of that. They're going to keep in touch with you. Okay? And the first thing they're going to say is, make sure that you organize your finances. Okay, that's number 2. They're going to say, well, you know, do you have to worry about your credit score a little bit? If you do, you might want to start thinking what plans there are to get that credit score up so that you can buy when you're ready. And that also ties into having that good mortgage person. You know, what kind of tax returns do you have to file to be ready? If you're self-employed, there are certain things that you can do to get ready to buy so that your tax returns support your qualifications to buy. That's important, okay? Credit score, what kind of savings you might need. Okay, these are all things that you should do even if you decide to wait. And of course, the last one I wrote here, educate yourself, okay? Think about what kind of areas you want to be in. Something you could talk to your agent about. What type of house? What kind of programs are out there, so that you can know what kind of programs you might be able to take advantage of as a buyer, okay? So that is my buyer brainstorm. And really, just in a nutshell, the main goal, I would say, advice for me, is to build a good team to help you accomplish your goal. Whether you're buying now or whether you decide to buy later. It's always good to build that team now, okay? So any other questions you have, give me a call. I'm always willing to help and answer them.